Good morning. Are you optimizing your business systems and automations? Today, Anna and Selena are going to be talking about developing sustainable systems and automations for small business owners and entrepreneurs. Now, whether you're just starting out or you're looking to scale, today's 15-ish minute coffee chat live stream and podcast is going to help you build a more profitable business. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. We have just a couple technical difficulties. Some of our streaming things are not going to stream. So I'm just going to fix that as we chit chat. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? So, just to let everyone know who is tuning in here today, our guest, Felicia Powell, was unable to make it. There's a little bit of a last minute conflict. So, we want to just tell her that we love her and that we're going to be rescheduling her for season 11. But because it was kind of a 24-hour kind of thing, Selena and I decided to come on and go ahead and do our show. And we're still going to talk about systems and automation, but it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to show you a couple of our very favorite systems and automations. We're going to show you how they work. We're going to show you how, when you put them into play, they can save you time and a whole bunch of other things. Right, Selena?
Yes. Okay. We fidget. But yes, to Felicia, I'm so sorry. We missed you today, but like Anna said, we'll catch you on the reschedule. So
yes.
All right, here we go. So Anna, you said we are talking about business systems and automations. Give our audience a little call to action that we like to ask everybody.
Yeah, well, first of all, let us know that you're here watching. Tell us where you're tuning in from. And then tell us, are you optimizing your business systems and automations? So, whatever that means to you, right? Like, we're curious, like, what are you using? Do you automate anything? Or are you hand jamming every email and every comment and everything that is going out? Are you answering by yourself every Facebook Messenger chat? Are you updating everything on your own? What automations might you be using potentially in your business? Drop it in the comments because we would love to kind of see what those out there that are watching with us today, what they're actually doing.
Yes. I can tell you honestly, I remember the first year or two, like I remember I did it. I'm like, no, I don't need all these things. I don't not need these things, but it was like, and then it just got to a point that I was like, I cannot do all of this. And I needed to save time for myself and my sanity. And that's where the the coming in part of automations like played a big role. And I think it has to make sense though. Don't force it, because if you force an automation and it doesn't make any sense, you're actually creating more work for yourself.
So very true. Yes. So let's get started. We actually do. We planned out our show just like we normally would. So Selena, let's take our coffee cup selfie and then let's get started. What do you think?
Yep. I have my special mug because in a couple days, that's where I'm going. So
I'm so jealous. And where I'm at right now.
Yeah, you're in StreamYard.
I'm in StreamYard. That's my big tip for the week. All right. I didn't even put up our sign. There it goes. Now there's the copy.
Now we got to do another one. Come on.
I know. It's been a Monday.
Cheersing to all our peoples that are joining us today. Awesome. Say hello. I see a couple eyeballs saying like they're watching. Say hello. Just drop a hello in the chat.
Tell us what systems and automations you're using. We're excited to.
Yeah. Do you use it? Are you considering on using them? Because like, I mentioned earlier, it can be confusing. And I can remember when I did try to force an automation, I was so confused by it. And I was like, I thought this was supposed to make it easier. And I stopped doing it. And I remember that in like year 1.5, because other people were doing it. So, but now, because I am busy, all of these automations are such a blessing. So, okay, let me bring up our first slide, and we're gonna, oh, that's not it.
No, that's not it.
There it is, guys. There it is. So Yeah, we're doing it a little backwards, right, Anna? So normally we share this after our guest has appeared on, but Anna and I actually want to bring up the toolkit because we're going to talk about two of these today and how they've helped us in our business, and particularly how we actually run our podcast with our guests.
Yes, you're going to see automations in action today.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start just a little bit. Let's talk about what an automation is. I mean, in the simplest of terms, an automation is just something that does a repeatable task, right? So the basic of it is when this happens, then do this. And you're telling an application of some sort to automate a repeatable task for you. So you don't have to continually go and do it yourself. That's
Yeah,
the basics of what an automation is.
right. Right, like you said. And I think, yeah, John, I'm interested in automating my mailing list. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a good one.
you can automate. Yes, yes, it's like one of my favorites, that's for sure. Um, so are we jumping in? Like, where are we starting, Anna?
Well, let's talk about the benefits of automating.
Okay.
So why do we even want to do this?
Hmm.
What's the benefits, right?
Yeah. So
So,
yeah, I had mentioned earlier it was absolutely the number one thing is it just saves time. And because a lot of things, once you kind of get into, I mean, this is my answer. Once you get into that constant, like, go, go, go with your projects, you're doing the same things over and over and over and over again.
yeah,
And if you see the pattern, you can go, oh, there's some of this that I can actually automate in my 10-step process to get an email taken care of or whatever it is.
yeah.
So I know that there's more, but that's for me. That's the main reason why I use automation is time and efficiency.
Yeah, time and efficiency. So, one that I would throw out there, there's something that I say all the time. If it's on my calendar, it's not happening in my world, right? I
Mm-hmm.
forget things because I have a very busy life. Automations make you more reliable. So, if you have automated tasks that you don't have to constantly be thinking of what that next step is,
Mm-hmm.
you don't forget to send an email. You don't forget to send a reminder. You don't forget to do the follow up. You don't forget to move your CRM card over to your other space. You don't
Mm-hmm.
forget to do these things because they're done automatically for you. So
Yeah.
reliability is a big one, and that just helps your business run smoother. I would
Mm-hmm.
also say that automations actually save you money in the long run. So
Mm-hmm.
while you may have to invest in the cost of a software program or an automation program that you're interested in using,
Mm-hmm.
ultimately in the long run, it's going to save you money because you're not having to hire team members that can start to fill in and do those tasks for you,
Yeah,
right?
I'll jump in and I'll mention I had like a really great regional manager chatting with us in a meeting once, and he said, "Look, like, I want you guys to play smart. Don't save pennies and lose dollars." And that could be, I'm spending all the time to do all this data stuff, but I don't want to spend the money on an automation tool to make me more efficient to get me out in the field to sell for the bigger package that pays for that platform. So I always kind of remember when he says that, just because I know, you have to think about it. Don't just do it just because, but realize sometimes your time doing a lot of the menial tasks is not serving your business.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So we kind of discussed the benefits:
Mm-hmm.
productivity, time, reliability, lower business operating costs, that kind of stuff. So when
Yeah.
do you know when is the right time to actually automate? When do you do
I,
it?
I'll give an example. I think, especially with the partnership, Anna and I, we work differently, right? And so there was a time when I introduced what we're going to show you today. Anna's like, no, we could just do it like this. And she's absolutely right. You could totally do it the way that she had suggested. And I said, I think I'm just trying to set us up for when we do get busy, and we talked about it. And she's like, okay, well, let's see what this does. And now she's such a fan of it that
Huge fan.
if we went back to, before that, I think she'd be irritated, because she's like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to write 5 emails to our our people. Um, so
Yeah.
I think I don't know if there's a right time or wrong time, but I think you just when you know it's going to save you time and allows you more abilities to make more sales,
Yeah.
that should be a right time. I, you
You
know,
Yeah, I wanna kind of play off of what Selena just said. So Selena gets very excited about the new tech that comes out, and
I
she
do.
wants to
I
jump
do.
on it, and she wants to use it, and I am more reserved. I'm a DIYer. I'm like, "Why would I buy this $500 program when I can do that in 25 seconds?" And so for me, I have to think through the process a little bit more clearly. So if you're a DIYer like me, the right time to automate is when you find yourself doing something over and over and over and over again. And you know that this is a task you're going to have to keep doing over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. So,
Hmm.
email is a great example, right? And this is kind of what we're going to show you today is we send a series of emails to each of our podcast and live stream guests, and we know what the emails are going to say. They almost all say the exact same thing with just very few exceptions. They all need to go at the same time frame there, and so we've managed to automate that task so that I'm not individually crafting 5 emails for every podcast guest during the weeks that we're doing the podcast. And it probably saves me an hour and a half of work, which is kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah. Yes. No, and look, I'm a DIYer myself, and automating is DIYing. Like, just so you can be clear, right? Like, DIYing to me, I'm like, okay, I can't afford to pay 10 million people to help me be on a team and be all these things.
Yeah.
So I have to do things myself. And I think this can help you when you are DIYing. You know what I mean? Like, you can look at that person as an extension at a very, very reasonable cost compared to paying an actual person to do those things for you. So I think, you just have to, I think you just have to be open to it. You know what I mean? And knowing actually what you can automate, because I think, Anna has said this before, right? You know what you know, or you don't know what you don't know,
Yeah.
right? So
Yes. And it's likely that the software programs that you already own or that you're already using have automations that you may not be optimizing.
mhm.
So take a look at that.
Yeah, don't be scared of that word. I mean,
Yeah.
really, because it was scary the first year and a half for me, because I was like, I don't know, and I honestly,
What if it doesn't
there's
go?
yeah, there's the trusting that the automation will do what you do correctly, right? Because if it is helping you to respond to a customer or a client, or if it's part of a series to help you nurture your guests on a show, you want to make sure that it's working, right? And so there's not a trust factor to it. So test, 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 and then test again, so you feel like you know exactly what is happening.
So, Selena, we have a question that came in from our
Yeah.
listening audience. Do you want to respond to this one? Is automation compatible with an interactive UX UI website, email campaign, sales funnel, social media presence, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. So the automation here, let's have an example of it, right? In your email campaign, I'll say we use ConvertKit, right? You can set up actually your sequence, and it's set to, like, once somebody enters into the campaign, let's say, and you have 10 emails set up, no matter when they come in, they're going to stagger in, and you have 10 emails set up to go out every other day, every 3 days, right? And they've entered into this email campaign that could lead into, that's part of your sales funnel.
Yeah.
In the sales funnel, I took a class with Sandra Ocasio. It was amazing. And just seeing the automations that she uses in her funnel system. I think she uses gorgeous funnels, or funnels gorgeous. I can't remember but it's like phenomenal. And it's a very awesome alternate to ClickFunnels. And the automations that were set up in there utilize text messaging, email messaging, and just the way that it like sets up the automation of when somebody wants to purchase, you
Yeah.
know. So and then social media, my favorite. You can't be on social media every single day if you had 10 clients and natively post 10 client stuff, right? So here's an automation. You grab a social media scheduler, and you create all your content and you upload it and you set it, and don't forget it, because you need to make sure that it actually posts on behalf of you and your clients, and then you worry about the engagement.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so you did it in one day, and you can upload, up to whatever your scheduler says. But yes, I think you can almost automate everything,
Yeah.
like everything.
And your website is absolutely compatible with a million different automations,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's contact forms to scheduling to sending them their initial welcome email when they sign up for your newsletter. All of that is automation. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just thinking it through that way.
Yeah, exactly. Great question, John.
Yeah.
Hi,
All
Victoria. No,
right.
next. What's next? What are
Yeah,
we
let's
talking about
jump
now?
into it. So we
Okay.
brought up this screenshot of Zapier and Calendly.
Mm-hmm.
These are two of our favorite automation applications, and these are two that we use with our live stream podcast guest process. So we want to show you both of these in action. Well, kind
Mm-hmm.
of in action. I mean, so
Yeah.
should we start with Calendly? Our
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to start with, here's the thing, right? With automation, you have to actually have your process. And the best way is to write it out or visually map it out so you understand what you're looking for your automation to do. So we knew that we had our guests schedule the episodes that we have for these shows. So we send them to Calendly. And let me just kind of, let me share this screen here. Okay, so this is our Calendly. We test demo how we automate our podcast. So this is usually like the guests that we invite on. We preset the dates on our Calendly, and we let them duke it out, right? We say, hey, pick the date that works best for you. What this is eliminated for us is us going back and forth. Does this date work for you? Does this date work for you? Does this date work for you? They can just see this. They see what's available. They can compare it to what's on their calendar, and they go ahead and they schedule it, right? So
I'm going to tell you guys, it took us almost 10 seasons to finally implement this and figure out this was the next automation we needed. We
yeah.
were going back and forth with our guests, trying to negotiate dates and times that fit into their schedule. This has saved us hours and hours of work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So look, this is the guest process, right? They click on, they set up a time, right? I'm clicking confirming. I'm going to just say, we're going to call this test Anna, because we're going to show you our next board. Anna, testing. If I left it with a big E, I would be, okay, schedule event, right? That took what, 5 seconds for them? None for us, because we've preset this up to save us time. I know, right, Victoria?
It is a great tool.
So what we did is we used, I know, hi, oh my gosh, how are you? So what we use with Zapier is it allows apps to talk to other apps, and it helps you set up. So we went into Zapier and we created a trigger that when an invitee has created an event in Calendly, it's going to help create a card into our project manager that we use for our show, which is Trello. You can use Asana, you can use Monday. They have Zaps for all of that. But so this way, we're not copying, pasting, going into Trello, creating the card. The card is already being created by the guest. So this Zap is on. We're going to go over to our test Trello board and see if it came through. And as you can see, instantly Anna's card that I just did shows up in our project manager board. So it's like, okay, great. Anna's in here. Test Anna. In there.
Do you want to share the? Do you want me to share the test board, Selena? We're still seeing your
Oh,
confirmed
wait, no,
calendar.
here. I'm sorry. No, here it is. Thanks. I'm looking at that thinking, no, this is what you're saying. Okay, so this is, you know what? Hey guys, wait, hold on. I'm going to wait, because you didn't see it. Zapier. This is what we use. This is how you create that trigger, the outline of what you want your automation to do. I love it. I love it so much. I've used it for many of our clients. So we know that when, again, just to go back, Calendly, they've created their thing. Once it's been created, it sends an action to Trello, and it creates that card. So now we're going to pop over to here. We're going to share this tab instead. And the card or the Calendly that you saw me create has now shown up here. I did set up in there, I wanted it to give me more information from the card, like, hey, when was the show that they picked, any notes, what their time zone was, whatever. You can have it set up to pull information, but we wanted to have to go back and forth between things as minimal as possible. So we're like, yay, we did it. It's
So
worked.
when we receive the information from our guests initially, when they fill out the I want to be a guest form for
Mhm.
Anna and Selena, it creates a card for them that gives us all the information we need, their email, what their subject matter expert topic is, their bios, their social media handles. It's all filled out for us
Yeah.
in these cards. We don't have to go back and copy and paste anything. It's amazing.
Yeah. In fact, let me switch over to our board real fast, just so you can see what it does pull. And I'm gonna actually just pull up this one. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So this is actually from our live stream board, and this is some of the information that we have. Well, it does a multiple. This is actually another Zap, but there's so many things that it can pull into your card. So you're having to copy and paste as little as possible. With this particular Zap, this one is from the form they fill out after they've selected their date and they've confirmed their time, when we have it all entered into the card. I
Yeah,
mean, it's all the things.
all
So
the things.
yeah.
All there in one place. It's
Mhm.
super, super easy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, part of the process, hi, Moni. Part of the other process that Anna and I use is we do emails. And so when Anna moves a card and goes into here, this triggers our Gmail account that we have for our show, and it sends out based on the information that we have filled out in here. So we would have this would have our email, and as long as this email right here in this custom field is filled out, we've gone into Zapier and we've said, hey, use this field and use this template and fill in all the information. And when we move our card, it allows us to automate that versus Anna going into our emails, writing the template, copy, paste, put in the names, make sure we're changing out all the things, all the fields, and then sending.
Yep.
So this took literally a second for me to move over our from Calendly over to Emails app. And if we had done it the other way, which you absolutely can, like, we're not dogging on that. I think we're just saying, hey, look at ways to help you save some time.
Yeah.
The setting up part, it takes a lot, right? But think about after the time that you have saved.
Yes. Absolutely. All right. So now we've got our email Zap. And if I were to go into our Gmail inbox, I could show you it sends us a copy of the email that is also going out to our guests. So we know that email has gone because we see it in our inbox the same way that our guest is going to see it in their inbox. So once we have that email Zap, now we're moving our guests now into the part where they're going to get all of the show notes. So, what are we going to be talking about? What does our run of show look like? What's the questions that we're going to be asking them so they can be the best prepared they possibly can be for when you are here watching us, like today?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
we'll move it over. And what's kind of cool is Trello talks to Google Doc, and it actually pulls one of our run of show templates, and it auto fills in the information into the template from what we have put into Trello, and creates our run of show for us, because we do a lot, everything starts in Trello and it feeds outward kind of, so all we're doing is minimal stuff when we pull up our run of show, right? Like we'll add on a thing, or we'll do this, or we'll do that. Anna's going to bring up here. I'm
I'm
going to
going
pull.
to
I'm
show
going to.
you kind of what our run of show looks like really quick
Mm-hmm.
and what gets automated. This is the one we created for today. So you can see Felicia's information is in there, even though we created this, we just took out Felicia's email, so it didn't send to her, but we still went through And all of this information came from the Zap that we created.
Mm-hmm.
So makes it super duper easy
Yeah.
to then just have what we need on show day to be able to then move forward with our program.
Yeah. And again, and then this was a process for us, right? Like all the zaps eventually, like we're like, oh, we can do another zap for this. We can do another zap for this. We can do just because we were evolving our show. So I think, make sure to look at your, you know, maybe quarterly, maybe every 6 months, just look and say, is there something I can do to automate right now?
Yeah.
Right, just look at, and look at your bandwidth and see all the things, right?
Yeah,
um
I think really it comes down to identify what you're doing over and over again
mhm,
and ask yourself, can I automate this task in some way?
yep,
And I will say this, there it is daunting to think about, oh, but then I have to figure out what to use and then I have to learn how to use it, then I have to set it up. That part of it feels like it's overwhelming and maybe going to take too much of your time. But like Selena said earlier, we really want to impress on you the think of the long-term value that you're going to get
mhm,
from finally automating that single task out of your workflow so that
mhm,
so you can spend those extra minutes doing something else.
yeah. And somebody had said to us recently, like, oh, it just takes a second or a minute. Thank you, Victoria. I'm trying to make
Yeah.
copies available for you. Yes. I think we've had people say, oh, it just takes a minute. But the minute, when you count out, maybe you did that action 50 times
Hmm.
in a month. That's an hour of your time that you can almost get back, almost an hour of your time you can get back. Do you know what I mean? Think about that in a year.
Yeah.
And as a business person, we don't even have enough time. So when you look at this and you see the possibilities of why automation can help you in your business, and how by optimizing those systems, it could save you a little sanity. You know what I mean?
It definitely
And
does.
we do, one of our automations is we send our guests after the show is done, and when we've created their podcast, we actually send them this. I'm gonna pop this up. Let me add this to the stream. These are some of their feedbacks on the process, right?
Yeah. This
Right,
is how
Al?
we know
Yeah.
this works.
Yes, Allison said, love the prep beforehand and the conversational structure. Jayla Ray, y'all are so organized and super helpful. I'm getting prepared for our chat. Thanks a million. You know, um, episode 83, 94, 60, 43. We try. We
I love
try.
these words, right? Great job communicating, easy to
Yeah.
follow the instructions.
Yeah.
I appreciate how organized you were. It makes us look good to
Mm-hmm.
automate our tasks.
Yeah.
And the setup did take some time, but ultimately, in the end, now
Mm-hmm.
that we're at episode number 98, it's been so worth it. And I
Yeah.
think moving forward, we're going to see that moving forward as
Yeah.
well.
And I feel like I hear this question, like, why does it matter what their experience is like? It does matter. For us, it matters that the time that they've given us. And this is, I could go on a tangent about client journey and like how you give them a wonderful experience that they're either going to refer you never know what the time that you are sharing with somebody, what that can do for you after that experience.
Yeah, I do want to share. We had one guest on a couple of seasons ago who has probably referred 5 or 6 different speakers to us because
Mhm.
she enjoyed her experience, her client experience of being on our show.
Yeah.
She has now referred her high power professional business colleagues to us to
Yeah.
come and be on this show with raving reviews. And that
Yeah.
is what Selena and I are looking for. And I know as a small business owner, that's what you want every single one of your clients to experience as well. So don't
Yeah.
be afraid of doing automations. It doesn't take away from the client experience if you do it right.
Yes. Gosh, 100%. Okay. Well, that's all I think we need to share today. You know what I
That's
mean?
it. Yeah. Thanks for
So,
sticking with us. We're
yeah.
sorry our guest was unable to make it today, but we hope you still found value in what we were talking about.
Yeah, no, totally. And yeah, and send us an email or a comment somewhere or a DM and say, hey, can you guys talk me through something? We'll be happy to. So send us that. So obviously we love when we end our show is we like to talk about the tip jar.
Yes.
So
All
I'll
right.
let Anna do that.
So, our tip jar today, be proactive with your tax position when you land your dream job. And whether that's a dream job inside or outside of your entrepreneurial journey, when you've landed a new job and hopefully a pay raise, the next important step is to make sure your tax obligations are met so you won't have any unpleasant surprises at tax time.
Yeah.
So, don't forget that a tax projection prepared by a CPA is not a bad idea. That will give you a rundown of what your tax bill will be based on and with some set assumptions. And you'll receive some great advice on how to optimize financials to decrease your tax burden at the end of the year. So don't let your next year's return be a mystery. And this is great advice because April 17th is coming up pretty darn quick.
No, not excited, but excited. I mean, it's okay.
Right.
It's okay. It's okay. You know what, Anna, and we're not going to advance to the next tab just because, didn't prepare properly.
Yeah.
So
So I do want to drop where you can find, I'm going to grab it right now. I'm going to drop where you can find our blog for today, which is going to give you links to all the things that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So head over and follow that link. Let me just throw that up. Head over and follow this link and go see where you can get Zapier and Calendly and how you can use it and all the good things like that. So that's the first thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I am back now. We can do this. You guys, this is the day. This is just a day. Okay. So like Anna said, she put our blog down here. This is kind of like where we normally typically finish off. But find us at annaandselena.com.
Yeah.
Subscribe to all the things, right?
Yes, I will say that we are taking a couple of weeks off because Selena, show us your cup again. Where are you going?
I'm going.
Selena is going to England.
Yes, I'm so excited.
So with her, safe travels.
I know.
We'll be back March 28th with Shelly Phillips, who from Successfully Ever After, she's going to be talking about personal branding, what that means for you as a small business owner. And thank you so much for joining us today. As always, find us at annaandselena.com. Follow that link to go and read our blog and check out all the other blog episodes that we've posted if you want more information about best tips and practices for being the best small business owner and entrepreneur you can be.
Yes. All right, guys. We are out. Bye, Anna. I'll
Thank
see you in the next thing. Bye, everybody.
Bye.